boy with the 15-year-old girlfriend, and it's maybe brought by the family, not necessarily even the girlfriend carrying the charge, and
Right.
we don't want to clump those together.
We wanted to avoid that issue, so that's why we said 12 and under.
Which
so
is absolutely unthinkable. And right now, we do not have a mandatory sentence.
No, not for your first conviction. And, you know, I think about 40 other states do. And I would love for Massachusetts not to be the last state in the union to have mandatory sentences to protect our kids.
And the type of sentences you're talking about, how long for first offense?
Mine would be 25 years for your first offense, 40 years for your second offense, and life for a third offense.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's being brought to my attention that we've got to remind people about the open house coming up.
Oh.
So we're going to touch on that subject, mandatory sentencing, again in just a few minutes. But the Taunton RCC is going to have an open house. It's candidates night at St. Andrews of the Apostles Social Center at 19 Kilmer Street. That's on that's May 22nd. Am I right? May 23rd. I apologize. And that's all candidates are invited, and we invite the public to come down and view the candidates and meet people at the Taunton Republican City Committee.
Yeah, I know that last time they had one, it was a great success. A lot of people showed up, and we got a lot of great information. It was wonderful to be able to meet the candidates. I don't think anyone else does that, and I'm really glad that they're doing that.
They've been fantastic. Well, I hope people do make it down.
It's bipartisan. Everyone is invited.
Right,
non-partisan, I should say.
And we've said that many times. We want to keep it clear that the Taunton RCC is welcoming people who are to consider themselves to be Democrats, conservative Democrats, independents, any of the above. Come on down and meet
I
the
meant that the candidate night. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
The candidate night is, everyone is welcome to that.
We've said that on the show many times. We're looking forward to comments from people. That's why we keep talking about our website and telling people how to reach us. And we're going to be breaking away in just a few seconds to Pete on the Street, his second segment. Pete on the Street, and here it is.
And regarding taxes, again, back onto taxes, would you be in favor of a cost of living automatic increase on a gas tax?
Absolutely not. I don't feel as though the gas tax is being used properly as it is now. My understanding is it was instated to help with the roads, and I think it gets spent through the general fund.
As a small business owner here in town, are there any particular issues that you would like to have Representative O'Connell address?
I think she's working in the right direction, at least addressing that small businesses are available, but it seems like a lot of the big businesses get tax benefits and tax credits and what have you that we're not allowed to at this level. So I would think that if they would maybe take that away from them, it'd be very helpful to us to at least be on the same level as they are.
So you like the idea of a level playing field?
Absolutely.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Absolutely. I would say it's hard to play when the guy down the street with the big orange building doesn't pay any real estate taxes, and we've had to pay him for over 65 years.
Yes, and this business, now you built it.
My dad actually built it.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yes, second generation, trying to just keep it alive and keep it strong.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a hot potato here this week. We got one good interview. Asked dozens of people. No thanks. Can't do it. It's a bad day. Not those questions. Not on a Monday morning. If it was any other questions, fine. Only if you don't use my face or my name. Nobody wants to touch this hot potato. I am glad we got Shaunna O'Connell at the State House working for us, grabbing that hot potato, working for us. This is a wrap for Pete on the Street.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Representative Shaunna O'Connell, and we just watched Pete's second segment, the hot potato. And Pete's not a scary guy, so I'm not sure why people were afraid to talk to him. But I imagine, even being out there as a candidate myself, trying to get signatures, I know how tough it was to get people to talk about politics. And when you mentioned the dirty R word, Republican, sometimes it was tough getting people to be responsive. And then other times, wide open. So I imagine it must have been tough out there, but I know Pete's been working it.
Yeah, I've always found people in Taunton to be very open-minded and very kind to me.
Oh, they've been great. As a matter of fact, I used to say it when I was out there, Taunton gets it.
Yeah.
They welcome the idea of politics. But, you know, you've got to work some people over just to get them to open up about their opinion in politics. Sometimes they don't even have one. They haven't even formed that opinion yet. As far as some of the other subjects, we were touching base on mandatory sentencing. We'd gone over you said 25 for first time,
Right.
40 for second. And you were going to explain some of the different levels and some of the information.
Yes, so that's so the second piece of the legislation is putting sex offender information online. So right now, people have access to level 3 sex offenders online. That is the worst level that you can get, level 3. And for level 2 sex offenders, you have to go to the police station to get information. And for level 1 sex offenders, you cannot get any information. Now, John Burbine was a level 1 sex offender.
Even though he committed, we said 13, has 100 counts charged against him.
Well, that was after, but before that, he was a level 1 sex offender, and here he went on to commit more sex crimes against children.
That's right, he had been picked up previously.
Right. So, the problem is a mother went to the local police station to get information on John Burbine because she had a bad feeling about him, and she couldn't get that information.
Was she a mother of one of the victims?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she was a mother of one of the victims, but of a child that went there. So parents need access to this information. And in Massachusetts, the way they classify sex offenders makes it difficult because a level 1 sex offender could have committed the same crime as a level 2 sex offender. But because of the different criteria that's used, they're only classified as a level 1 sex offender, and you don't have access to that information. A level 2 sex offender could have committed the same crime as a level 3 sex offender. So, classification isn't made by the crime itself or the severity of the crime. It's made by 24 different criteria, one of them being your likelihood to reoffend, which I don't know how anyone in the world could ever decide whether or not someone is less likely to reoffend. All of the information we have, all the cases we've seen, all of the experts we hear tell us, that by the time a sex offender is caught, he's not on his first victim, he's on his 10th victim, his 20th victim, his 50th victim. So that's why I think it is very important to give parents all the information they need online so that they can make the decisions on where their children spend time.
I mean, especially with this more recent case, the 3 young ladies that finally were released, or escaped, I should say.
Oh, in Ohio.
I think it's going to be fresh in everyone's minds and hearts. Having this information, knowing this, something else that could have triggered the response. Communities, do you think communities, actually, right now, this legislation that you're working on is bipartisan, am I right?
Yes, actually it is sponsored with Jim Dwyer, Rep. Jim Dwyer, Democrat from Woburn, sponsored this legislation with me. We do have a lot of co-sponsors as well. There's a lot of different legislation filed this session regarding sex offenders, specifically because of that Burbine case. I believe that the legislation that Jim Dwyer and I have filed is some of the toughest legislation that puts in the strictest mandatory sentences and puts all the information online. And I think that's what's most important. We have, unfortunately, a habit of only going halfway in Massachusetts to protect our kids. This is our opportunity to go all the way, put in the laws that we need so we're not back here again talking about the same thing.
I mean, I'm having a tough time understanding why anyone would not be for that legislation, but you do have some pushback, am I right? There are some people?
You do. There are people, and I have a hard time understanding it myself.
I mean, we're going to get people called, well, obviously the people watching our local cable are going to be calling you, but we'd love to get more people on who could call their reps and help push this through.
Yeah, and people, they should call their representative if they're concerned about an issue or they want more information. I'd be happy to have them call my office or email me, because the more support we get, public pressure is key in getting good policy passed. And we've seen it with the EBT reform. We've seen it with the information finally coming out about these terrorists and what kind of welfare they were on. And so I want people to know that their voice really counts and it really matters when it comes to getting legislation passed.
I mean, you are that conduit to the State House.
Right.
The local people, they have their representative. And it's time that people start getting out and mingling. And I've seen you out in crowds. You speak to everyone.
Yeah, I love to get involved. I'll speak to any groups. Some of my favorite groups are the veterans and the seniors. Our seniors here in Taunton have the best parties there are. They have a great time, and they have, we recently had a spring fling with the Council on Aging, and it was just so much fun.
Are you having some upcoming event with the veterans?
Oh, I am. Yes, I'm just in the planning stages right now, but it should be on May 24th. We are going to be on Hometown Talk Radio, and I'm reserving an hour so that I can be on with the veterans. We can promote the parade that is going to be on Memorial Day. I hope everyone joins us. I'll tell you, you don't know how much it means to our veterans when they see those streets lined up with people, cheering them on as they walk by in that parade.
Oh,
I
we
hope
saw the parade last
everyone
time.
joins us.
Great get-together.
We want those sidewalks filled with people. So we're going to be on promoting that and talking about any other issues that are important to them that they want to get out there too. They do a lot of great work here in Massachusetts, in Taunton.
We're coming up on the 10th second. No, we've got 1 minute left. And it looks like we've talked through an awful lot. I told you, we could use hour-long segments. Well, hopefully we can get you back, Representative.
Oh,
O'Connell.
absolutely.
And, Fox News is one thing, but Taunton
This is
Local
where it
Cable
is.
is where it's at. That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, our next guest coming up is going to be David Kopacz talking about Agenda 21. And if you want more information on that, well, you've got to watch our show. Remember to check us on our website at www.tauntonrcc.com. And again, the Facebook. We're running the Facebook campaign, so facebook.com, hit facebook.com/therightsidetv. Like us, see if we can get those numbers up. We want to hear your responses, your feedbacks. Ask Rep. O'Connell something through our website. We'd love to pass it along. And
My
we-
website too,
Absolutely.
ShaunnaO'Connell.com. Or
Shaun-
join me on Facebook.
You've got it, folks. You've got 2 Facebook campaigns. ShaunnaO'Connell.com. Thank you again, Shaun.
Hey, great to be here, David.
Good to see you.
Thank you for tuning in to The Right Side. The Right Side is produced, directed, and written by the Taunton Republican City Committee. The opinions and views expressed are solely ours. They do not reflect the views and opinions of Taunton Cable Media Access. Now, if you wish to contact us with your reactions, thoughts, or ideas, go to the Taunton Republican Committee website. Click on The Right Side and fill out the comment form at the bottom of the page. That's all there is to it. And once again, thanks for tuning in to The Right Side.